from Iowa.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I rise in support of H.R. 3334 and the good work by the Foreign Affairs Committee to sanction the tyrannical and oppressive peoples within the Chinese Communist Party Act, and I present my amendment, Amendment Number 1. The illegal production and distribution and the sale of fentanyl has contributed to a surge of overdoses across the world and severe addiction right here in the United States as well. Cheap but deadly fentanyl is flooding into the United States across our open southern border, wreaking havoc on communities across our country and locally in our neighborhoods, and killing a record number of Americans, including in Iowa's 3rd District, my hometown. In Iowa alone, over the last 2 years, we've seen a 34% increase in drug death overdoses, with fentanyl implicated in more than 83% of those. Among Iowans, those 25 and under, drug overdoses have increased by 120% in the last 24 months alone, a staggering figure. Fentanyl, tragically, is the leading cause of death of Americans my age down to my high school daughter's age. This epidemic kills over 150 young people in America a day, a catastrophic death toll by any measure. But at its source of the crisis is the Chinese Communist Party. They are the primary source for fentanyl production worldwide, including that ends up here in America. The chemical compounds of this deadly drug are manufactured under Beijing's control and then are sent to cartels and laboratories within Mexico. Mules from Mexico cartels move this deadly fentanyl across the wide open border on America's southern states and disperse it out to every community in America, where it kills our friends, our neighbors, our families, and guts our very communities. The longer that we allow China to go unchecked as the main producer and funding source for these dangerous drugs, this crisis will continue to get worse and more deadly. It is time that we put this heartbreaking madness to an end. And that is why I offer my amendment, which would add a Chinese state-owned enterprise that knowingly produces chemicals for the manufacturing of fentanyl to the list of sanctioned entities here in the United States. We must stop this crisis at the source and keep our fellow Americans safe. My heart goes out to every family who has been impacted by this. And tragically, at this point, nearly every American has felt or known someone who's been impacted by the fentanyl crisis, including the Kidd family that joined me here in this very chamber at this year's State of the Union, who lost their child to Chinese-manufactured fentanyl. I urge everyone on both sides of the aisle, in both chambers, to take action on this by supporting this amendment. I thank my colleagues for their work in standing up to China to protect our communities and fight for our kids. With that, Mr. Chair, I reserve the balance of my